It is absolutely crazy how Fulham have not made any major transfers yet. They spent 500,000 on Lecomte, a 34-year-old goalkeeper, whilst others spent nearly 500 million in the same transfer window. At the same time, they lost Andreas Pereira, one of their most influential players, to Palmeiras. Even in the league, things are going wrong for Marco Silva. Against Chelsea, for example, the wrong VAR call ruined the 18-year-old King's debut Premier League goal. The start of the new season has been a tough one for Fulham and Marco Silva. But there is hope. After 3 months of not mentioning Fulham, Fabrizio Romano has finally tweeted about the club. The Brazilian wonder kid might be on his way, so let's find out if he can be the great catalyst to Fulham's season. And I gotta tell you, I'm just as surprised as the next man that they haven't spent anything, really. Especially when you look at other promoted teams like Sunderland spending over 100 million as soon as they come into the Premier League. So Fulham, as an established club in the Prem, surely do have a bit more cash to spend. But first, let's begin by taking a look at their performance last season. They came into that 11th position with 54 points. And the goals came from Raul Jimenez mainly, alongside Rodrigo Muniz, with the support of Iwobi and Wilson on the wings, and Smith Rowe in that attacking midfield position. And when we look at players leaving the club, we have to look at Reiss Nelson, who returns to Arsenal, Vinicius, who has left, alongside Willian, who finally might have ended his time in the Premier League. The news is out. Understand the agreement between Fulham and Shakhtar Donetsk for Kevin is done for a fee over 42 million. That is some big spending coming Fulham's way. And Kevin now gets the number 18 on his back. Fulham fans are getting very excited watching compilations of this kid, who obviously is coming in from Shakhtar Donetsk, who are known to have a lot of Brazilian players and talents come across there. So, a rating for the price. He's coming in at a rating of 76. I didn't have to pay anything near what Fulham are paying in real life. I only had to pay 15 million. To my right, you can see the heat map of Kevin. He plays mostly on that left-hand side, dribbling down the wings and trying to get chances for his team. He's managed to get himself 6 goals and 4 assists in the past season. Kevin is now 22 years old as we sign him, 5'9" with the technical play style on him. He does have a bunch of pace, decent shooting, decent passing, but mostly really good dribbling, 4-star skill moves on him. The question now, though, becomes, where does he play? Because you do have Iwobi on that left-hand side, and Iwobi is an essential part of this Fulham team. I mean, just look at Iwobi's heat map. He is clearly going down that left-hand side most of the time. And when you look at the setup for Fulham against Chelsea, you see Iwobi on that left-hand side ahead of Sessegnon. In the middle, though, King is part of this Fulham team, and he is going to be the key to success for us. King is an exceptional talent. However, at this point, the 18-year-old is only 66 rated, so his time will come. He doesn't have any play styles. He doesn't have 4-star skill moves. He does have the 4-star weak foot at least, but generally speaking, we need to send him out on loan so that one day he can return and become an absolute legend for our team, because right now, a 66 rated player in the Premier League is just not going to cut it. Going back to the Kevin situation, though, I believe we could have Iwobi move to the right-hand side. He is right-footed anyways, and he has played there in the past as well. So we're going to fit Kevin onto that left wing, and a 42 million signing surely is not going to sit on the bench for Fulham, especially if he's the only signing they make. King has been loaned out to Celtic, Araujo over to Sturm Graz in Austria, and Harris, how he is in real life, he has gone to Oxford. And now we're stepping into the West London derby against Brentford, my friends. And here we go. Brentford on the attack with the likes of Jimenez, Smith Rowe, and of course, the new signing, Kevin, down the left, scores straight away. First time we get to use him, and he already looks great. His movement is class. His finishing is just pinpoint accuracy for now. Now, Brentford obviously get their own chances. And Mbeumo and Leno steps up for us to make sure we keep the lead. The skill moves from the Brazilians send defenders one way, and then he goes and makes sure to score yet again. 94th minute, he makes it 2-0 for Fulham, guaranteeing 3 points against Brentford. This is a huge debut for the Brazilian superstar as we beat Brentford 2-0. And as with that victory, we find ourselves in a 10th position on 49 points this season. -4 on the goal difference, and that is something that we will have to tackle as we move forward with this Fulham side. Offensively, we have managed to score 49 goals, which once again isn't incredible, but the fact that we finished 10th, ahead of the likes of Nottingham Forest, West Ham, Bournemouth, Brighton as well, Everton and Brentford going down, I think this is a good season. And at the end of the day, the Premier League champions are Manchester City. That is a dream for us that down the line might happen, but not right now. We can focus on the fact that Jimenez has delivered one last time. He has gone down by 2, but gotten 20 goals and 2 assists this season. Iwobi 15 and 11 from that right wing, and Kevin in his debut season in the Premier League 13 and 4. And I gotta tell you, in gameplay, he feels incredible. So I'm a huge fan already. Muniz has gone up to a 78, so he is taking over that striking position for us next season. And if he can get to an 80 plus soon enough, we are fine with the striking position for now. Smith Rowe, by the way, now up to an 80 rating. Obviously, used to be a huge talent at Arsenal, and now Fulham gets that full play time and the trust in the team. But we're looking at Sander Berge at the age of 28, solid CDM, 6'5" giant. Lukic, 29 years old. And when you go through this defense, you do see a bunch of aging players. For now, we are fine, but we need to make sure that we have replacements for the future locked in. And that is where the next transfer window comes in. Tom Kearney, though, is retiring at the age of 35 now. First, I'm starting with the goalkeeper because Leno is 34 years old and we need someone to come in and be the prospect to be built up behind him. And that man is a Belgian talented goalkeeper, Mathieu Epolo. 14 million we're paying for him. As a club like Fulham, we can't just go out and buy the biggest talents out there. It's just not going to happen. So we need to find the hidden gems, and this is one of them. 21 years old, 76 rated at this stage. He will come in and be built up. Easily could reach the 80 rating by the end of the season. 6'2" tall, far reach as well, which is very useful. So I'm very happy with this signing being the first one of this season. After that, we still have about 60 million to spend. Defenders in the Eredivisie tend to be players that are good on the ball, and this next one could be one of them. Alexandre Penetra joining us from AZ Alkmaar, the club that has built up players like Tijani Reinders and Kerkez, if I'm not mistaken. But we're going to bring him into our team as a centre-back option for the future. 76 rated Portuguese centre-back. Now, he will come in and compete with the likes of Diop and Quenza, but I believe he can easily surpass Diop there. Diop at this stage is 29 as well. So he's only a backup for now, but nothing for the future. Penetra is 6'1" tall, has the anticipate play style as well. Some really good stats on him alongside pace, defending, and physicality. And he might become very important for us down the line. For 23 million, Malero, a very talented right back from the Turkish league, and the team of Trabzonspor is joining us. Marco Silva is happy to see these players trickle in. 23 million is what I spent, obviously, and he comes in at a 79, which automatically makes him great competition for Kenny Tete, who's obviously 30 years old. So with this signing, I think we're bringing in a bit of heat into this team. Now, don't get me wrong, Castagna is a great backup as well, but I probably will sell him now. And then Malero will probably take over throughout this season. He's the marquee signing for us. 82 pace on him, 79 dribbling, 74 defending, with 4 really good play styles for a fullback, standing 5'10" tall. Manchester United against Fulham. Let's make it happen. Last time we played, obviously, Kevin was the hero, but now Rodrigo Muniz, after 11 minutes, 1v1, and he bottles it against the keeper. I expect more there. Sander Berge, solid pass into Muniz. He goes for it straight away this time. And yet again, another save forced out of the keeper. Now Kevin wants to do it himself. He plays it across to Muniz, gets it back again, hits it on his left, and scores with his first shot of the game. This Brazilian wonder kid is actually the truth. Lads, we are getting taken out by Bruno Fernandes, and then we give him a nice elbow to lay him onto the floor ourselves. Then it is Rodrigo Muniz finishing it, but huge props to Sander Berge, who gets taken out, stands up, pushes his opponent down, and then goes ahead and plays an assist. Ridiculous. Højlund's shot deflected and in. Leno probably could have done a little bit better there, but Manchester United are back into the game. Fulham beating United away from home would have been amazing, but sadly, it actually turns out to be a draw. 89th minute, Lee Kangin steps in on the far post and just swoops in make sure they pick up a point. But I'm still proud of this squad. Lads, we've done it again. Fulham finishes 10th, this time with 57 points. 12 on a goal difference, having scored 66. So technically we have done a little bit better than last time. But at the end of the day, at the top of the league table, it is Liverpool with 84 points. For the top scoring list, well, it is Ivan Toney who has returned to Premier League football, playing for Leicester City. Very interesting to see. But when it comes to our players, Kevin is the only one part of it. 18 goals, top 8. For him. But Smith Rowe is 4th in terms of assists, and that's a good sign of things to come, because 2 of our youngest players and most high potential players are performing right now, and that gives me a lot of hope. I'm very happy to see that. Iwobi is now 31 years old, but up to an 84 rating. I think this upcoming transfer window will have to make a bunch of tough decisions. Muniz being on a 79 at the age of 26, I'm not too happy with that. This next transfer window will genuinely be the biggest one we ever had, and I'm going to sell people, and I'm going to be ruthless about this. So when we go over to the age, Jimenez is still here. Leno is going to be leaving us. We're going to have Iwobi go. We're going to have Tete leave us as well. Traore. We're going to cash in on all these aging players, including Joachim Andersen. Actually, no, I'm going to keep him for at least one more season. The same goes for Lukic. I can't change the entire team in one window. Actually, lads, Anderson has put in a transfer request, so he's leaving because Penatra has gone up to an 80 rating. And look at that, King is up to a 74 rating at this stage, and Harris is looking solid as well as a backup to Smith Rowe. Muniz has left to Nottingham Forest. Anderson has gone back to the Bundesliga there. Kenny Tete over to Napoli. Traore over to Southampton. Wilson to Al Hilal, and Castagne goes to Stade Rennais as Leno joins Man City. And well, you know, it leaves me with a decent budget. 150 million. Let's get to spending. I need a striker. I need a center back. No, I don't actually. Hold on. Penetra is there. And I need a goalkeeper. Oh, no, wait. I do have Apollo. See, this is what happens when you actually bring in backups that you build up. So I can go all in on that striker if I want to. There's a very talented striker at AS Monaco who might be serving too much time on the bench. So let's rescue Eleni Kena as he comes over to Fulham to become the new striker of this team. I have signed him now for just 15.6 million. I know I could have basically gone ahead and signed a world-class striker, but we are a mid-table team. I cannot just go ahead and do that. So for that reason, Eleni Kena takes over the striking position now at the age of 20, 77 rated, 100%, needs to get to an 80 rating by the end of this season. If he doesn't, I'm going to be upset, and I literally just watched Haaland score a goal against Brighton. Very dodgy, but I guess he'll take it. Anyways, yeah, we're going to go ahead and make sure we make the right decisions moving forward. And Eleni Kena is going to be one of those, in my opinion. Next up is a player for our midfield. Someone for the future and possibly for the now, who's going to bring in competition. Sergio Altimira, 26.9 million. We paid for this transfer to go over the line. He comes in at a rating of 81, which immediately puts him at contention with Lukic for the CDM position. Lukic, I'm going to put down to the bench for now, but let's put in the new... Oh, no, that's not the one. Altimira, there he is. Altimira comes in from Real Betis, 25 years old. Not the fastest, but 6'2", right-footed, brings the physicality, brings the defending into this team, and could be a huge part of our squad down the line. And this season, I want to push at least into the top 7 with this team. Up next is Rafael Nel, who gets the number 10 on his back, seemingly. And who is this youngster? Well, this is yet another Sporting talent. Sporting, Benfica, Porto, known for bringing out incredible players, and this could be another one. I am bringing in competition for the striking position. We only have one striker as we speak, and that cannot happen. Nel comes in, 22 years old, 87 pace, 76 shooting, 6 foot tall. Only 2-star skill moves, but a 4-star weak foot. Both of our strikers are basically going to battle it out from this point on. It seems like Nel wins in a lot of the categories, so I wouldn't be surprised if he actually starts. But now the only thing I need to do is bring in backups for the wings. Iwobi, is 31, and Kevin needs someone to back him up too. And so we're bringing in a right wing right now, a player that many will not know and a player that even I don't know. Dario Osorio is joining us for 24 million as our right wing backup to Iwobi. Just 23 years old, 78 rated, but he's not the only one, as you can tell here. We have signed Osorio, 23, 6 foot tall, left footed, press proven, quick step, but also signed Paredes. Both quite cheap if you ask me. 24 years old, 85 pace on this lad, 5'9", 4-star skills, rapid play style. So we have brought in some great players to back up the ones we already have. Osorio at some point will probably be a starter for us, or Paredes. Whoever grows faster, I'm going to turn into a right wing, and they're going to take over the position of Iwobi, who's now 31 years old. But as I said, I need to see top 7 finish. Can't believe I'm saying this, but we are third right now after 35 games, and we're up against Manchester City up next. Can we win the title? And because it was about the title, I gave it my all. 5 minutes into the game, it's Iwobi from a tight angle, but still asking questions from the goalkeeper there. Sandeberge wants a goal as well, doesn't get it. Rafael Nel puts one on the floor, runs through. Is this the moment? 57 minutes in. No, it's saved. But wait, they're clashing together. He steps in and scores. Man City in shambles in the biggest game of the season. A mistake like that could genuinely cost them the title and hand it over to us. Ederson and the defender need to just ask themselves what they're doing there. 81st minute though. Haaland is on the run. It is Manchester City coming through now. Mason Greenwood on the ball, and Bassi takes him out. And sadly, Bassi gets a red card in this position. So 10 men Fulham against Manchester City. All-out attack. 83rd minute. Greenwood takes it and scores. And basically takes away that Premier League title from us. I was so hopeful going into this, but wait a second. It's a pass from Kevin into Rafael Nel, and he scores. 91st minute. Fulham make it 2-1 to maybe still win the Premier League title. Marco Silva says, thank you very much, Pep. I appreciate you. But it's time for the last 2 games. Against West Ham, it's a draw. What? Against Leeds, it's another draw. What are we doing here? And I thought Manchester City was going to be our rival for the title. But Aston Villa has ended up winning the league title with 72 points. I can't believe we let that one slip in the last few games. Just one more victory instead of those draws would have gotten us the title. But this has been a huge lesson for this team. We worked so hard to push into the top 7. We ended up in second, so I cannot really complain here. The top performer for us is Rafael Nel, who's gone up to an 82 rating. And oh boy, what a player he has been. He has smashed it this season for us. Kevin is still one of our top performers. Smith Rowe 11 and 7, Iwobi 11 and 10, Altimira performing alongside him. In terms of ratings, we're looking solid everywhere right now, with players like Sandeberge even going up to an 85 rating. In terms of age, I guess Robinson is the oldest player in the team. He's got up to an 86, an amazing left back actually, who I'm surprised didn't leave Fulham this season. Ilene Kenna has gone up to a 79, so he's the backup now. He initially was brought in as the main guy, but bottled it. Paredes and Osorio are looking very good. And how the hell has Iwobi gone up to an 86 at the age of 32? I'm amazed by his performances right there. And King has gone up to a 79 this season. Turn him into an attacking midfielder, so he's going to be competing with Smith Rowe down the line. But yeah, King is definitely going to play a massive role moving forward. Hopefully, whenever we get to a finale, a cup finale, whatever, we can sub him on and have a huge impact from him. I possibly find myself in the weirdest position ever right now. In the league, we finished 6th with 67 points. Just one more victory could have pushed us back up into the top 4. But that's not the point I'm trying to make here. We have actually won the FA Cup, which I am very, very satisfied with. A trophy for us domestically, and in the Carabao Cup, we actually dropped out in the semi-finals. So we have done quite well there. Now here is where the funny part begins. Champions League football. We finished 6th at first. Then came through the round of 16 to play against Wolfsburg, beat them. Quarterfinals, played against Manchester City, beat them 5-4. Semi-finals, beat Real Sociedad, and somehow find ourselves now in a Champions League final against Borussia Dortmund. What? And well, I guess it's down to the fact that Rafael Nel has 14 goals in 14 appearances in the Champions League. He is the main reason as to why we made it that far, alongside Iwobi, of course. But when we go over into the Premier League, you'll see that he's in a 5th position with 18 goals, way behind Haaland. Overall, though, he has 41 goals and 5 assists. The Portuguese has become incredible for us, with Iwobi on 45 goal contributions and Kevin on 32. The starting 11 itself is looking amazing at this point. It is truly world class, but man, I honestly didn't think we'd make it this far in the Champions League already. When we look at our opponents, they have John Duran up top, supported by Adeyemi and Sabitzer, Rioson on the right, West on the left, Miley and Amecha in midfield, Sule Bensebaini, Anton Kobel, Schlotterbeck on the bench, he definitely plays, Carrera as well, Hato as well. Wow, they have some really good options there for the defensive side of the game, which will make this even harder. But 3 at the back, I think we can find a solution against this, especially if Rioson and West are not going ahead and defending too well. Now, going into this game, let's have a bit of a chit-chat, shall we, lads? Currently, my second channel, I'm doing all of that football content, and I'm having a blast with it. I even did a live stream for the Liverpool versus Arsenal game, which is obviously a bit of time ago. But still, man, I'm just loving it. So if you guys don't mind, if you want to see me talk about football, if you think I have actual ball knowledge, let me know by subscribing to CaniSports 2 and supporting me over there. Once I come back from my trip to Germany to see some family after 1.5 years of moving out, which is mad, I'm actually going to be rebranding the CaniSports 2 channel as well. Going to completely turn it into the football-based content channel, which I'm doing because it's like a fun thing for me to do. I love doing it, and that's how I started with... Oh, hold on. Schlotterbeck is actually playing and he stops Rafael Nel. But back when I started career mode content, I started it because it was a fun thing to do. I didn't start it back then to think like, oh, maybe one day I can earn money with this. Because at the time where I was becoming a YouTuber, basically, or at least giving it a shot, no one was really earning money apart from maybe like a couple of people on YouTube at the time. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Maybe the second channel can become big as well. Sanderberge! That's a terrible, terrible choice. I should have passed it to Nel, who was right next to me there. But yeah, man, I'm loving it. And at one point, it's going to become big as well. I'm manifesting it as we speak. If you guys don't mind, let me know in the comments down below what team you support right now. Like, what team's games are you watching? All of them, you know? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you have any other leagues that you're, like, interested in, teams you sympathize with as well, let me know, because I personally have a bunch of teams that I like, man. I never got this whole only support a club in a country that you live in type stuff. Like, I never lived in England, all right? I started looking into Premier League football. Oh my God, I'm down. 31st minute, it's John Duran. But yeah, I started looking into Premier League football because of my career mode content, because I wanted to know what's going on in the league that is most popular for career mode content. And you know, fell in love with Liverpool at a time where we sucked. So I think it's okay to get hooked to teams that don't play in your league, that you aren't local to. I never got this gatekeeping thing that people do when it comes to like foreigners supporting their teams. But yeah, I'm born in Munich. I'm a Munich supporter, Bayern Munich supporter basically, and then chose to support Liverpool as the other club. But yeah, let me know how you guys feel about that type of stuff and which teams you might be interested in. Maybe not as a supporter, but as someone that appreciates them, I guess. That could be a possibility. Here goes Nel. Nel, I love that movement, but what the hell is that pass? There we go. Move it. Let's go. Altamira. Nel does well against Schlotterbeck and more. Iwobi down the right. Iwobi, it's a good attempt of a pass. Kevin, turn. Shoots. Can't freaking score against this Dortmund side yet, man. I need a hero. And you know what? I know exactly who I need. Altamira. Kevin. Kevin. Left foot of dreams. Yes, it's fine. He takes it with his right foot. We'll take it. We're back level with Borussia Dortmund in a huge Champions League finale. The 6th in the Premier League is about to win the Premier League. The Champions League, maybe. You know what I mean. And you know what? This is the moment where I want to make that big change. Smith Rowe comes off and King comes on. Please have an impact. I would love to see that. Robinson, love that from you, pal. King. King! King! Ah, come on, man. That was the moment. King, lovely dribble. Over to Kevin. He finds Kevin. King to get an assist in a Champions League final. Man, he has had an impact already, hasn't he? Down to King again. He's in a good spot to shoot one more time. And you know what? Part of this is getting his chance on the left. Osorio doesn't need to get subbed on. Iwobi is surprisingly strong so far. Lukic actually comes on for Berge. Let's see some nice movement here from King straight away. Looking for Paredes. Paredes gets taken out. Is that inside the box or outside the box? It's a penalty. It is a penalty. Niklas Süle, thank you for that terrible tackle. And you know exactly who's going to take this penalty. It's a young man who had his goal stolen by VAR. It's King scoring the goal in a Champions League final for Fulham. The youngster has done it. What a moment. Incredible stories are being written right now. Second half of extra time, we're going to bring on Eleni Kena up top as well. Lukic looking for King straight away. King pass and move. There he is. Lukic finds him again. King inside the box. Oh my God, he's actually done it. This kid is the future of Fulham. Can you believe it? He has come on as a substitute and changed the whole game. If I could, I genuinely would have him become the captain of this game and lift that Champions League trophy. That's another thing that I wish you could change mid-game. Like, can you change it in FC 26 now? Let me check. No, you cannot. Why can I not change my captain mid-game? Like, when I make substitutions, it changes. Why can't I do it like that? Anyways, well, here we go with King again. Over to Lukic. They are on the floor. Here comes King once again, looking for Eleni Kena. 2 goals and an assist. Unbelievable. They have fallen apart. I mean, he has completely ruined Borussia Dortmund. They should sign him if they can. Well, they can try and sign him, but he probably wants to stick around at the Champions League winners and the 6th place team in the Premier League. Fulham have actually done the unthinkable. Our Portuguese striker Nel might have not scored in this Champions League finale, but at this stage, I have one question to ask, and that is, can he pick up the Ballon d'Or? I would give it to King if I could, honestly. And they gave the Ballon d'Or to Vinicius Jr. Are you kidding me, man? Nel has put up unbelievable performances throughout this season. Just because he didn't step up in the finale, you're going to take it away and give it to Vinny Jr.? What an absolute joke. But honestly, I loved this rebuild for Fulham. It was a ton of fun and getting closer and closer to FC 26, guys. So if you have any ideas for changes in content that you would like to see for FC 26 when it does come around, please let me know in the comments down below. We're getting very close and I'm very excited for a new season. A little bit of hype going into the new game as well. Should be a ton of fun. I'll catch you next time. Take care and peace.